My first question is, can you first provide a brief background of yourself?
I'm the Director of Workforce Development at Symbol Training Institute. I've been here for 5+ years, and in that time, what Symbol does is actually, I'll give you a little history on us. Symbol Training Institute was initially a tool and die shop called Symbol Tool Inc. That was founded in the early 80s. And we had skilled labor shortages that we were experiencing even back in the early to mid 90s. And here in the United States of America, we just couldn't find the local talent. And we relied on a steady pipeline of immigrants coming from the Eastern Bloc of Europe, countries like Poland and Russia, etc. And over time, that's kind of dried up. That well of talent as well has dried up, and we were just perplexed as to why we couldn't find any locally grown talent here in the States, either be it from the community colleges or local training providers. So what Symbol's management team decided to do was actually to reach out and speak with some of the local manufacturers who were experiencing some of the same thing. And certainly we were talking about this skilled labor shortages well before the media ever got around to doing it, or to I guess, presenting it to the general public. And we decided to initially band up with some local manufacturers in the Chicagoland area, because we're right outside of Chicago and we service that whole area. And we decided to start training incumbent workers initially. And over time, we started with our popularity and the success of our training, we expanded out to just the general public in general who, I guess we would call them greenhorns, folks who've never set foot in a machine shop before, or folks who've never been, doing anything manufacturing related, but they could have been truck drivers, they could have been bank tellers, etc. We've even had, believe it or not, a Grammy artist come here who used to write a lot of songs with some of the famous artists, and he always had a passion and a mechanical aptitude for advanced manufacturing, and that's how he came over here. So we get about 250 to 300 students a year currently, and we have 2 locations, one in Skokie, Illinois, which is just north. It's almost adjacent to the city of Chicago, a suburb there, and then one that is west of O'Hare at a village called Addison, which is a suburb in the Chicagoland area, in a very heavy industrial area here in the Chicagoland area. So the benefits here in Illinois, I guess, in the northeastern part of Illinois, is it's very manufacturing, or it has a very long legacy of being an industrial kind of capital of the Midwest here in America. And there's a good wide range of manufacturers in multiple industries that service manufacturing, be it automation, aerospace, green technology, medical, etc. So they all are these job shops that make a wide array of parts. A lot of these job shops the general public has never even heard of, but they do business with, the big boys such as Caterpillar, GE, etc., even some of the large automakers too. And they make those parts, and our graduates end up working at these manufacturing job shops. So my job here, one of my roles here at Symbol is, of course, to go out to the manufacturers, let them know that a training such as ours exists, and also to supply them with the talent that they're sorely lacking. So talk to any manufacturer these days, and I would say even their biggest hindrance to growth is the fact that they can't find enough quality people. Even the tool builders who sell the actual machines that, these advanced technologies in the shops, they tell me all the time they could sell more machine tools if they could just attach an operator to actually operate them. So these are some of the hindrances of growth that are impacting, the Chicagoland area here.
Oh, why would you say that there is this problem?
Well, it's been, a long-standing issue where manufacturing over probably the last 2 decades has received a lot of negative press. Every time there was a plant closing or just the advances of technology, which inherently took up some jobs here and there, but everyone was just scared to get into this field, and it didn't appeal to them. Unfortunately, even nowadays, it still doesn't appeal to the millennial generation. So that's why they're experiencing the shortage, because for the last 20, 30 years, people just have not even bothered to get into it. Also, with a lot of our high schools, a lot of the machine shops have been kind of taken off the budget lines there, so being removed from, for instance, in the city of Chicago, they used to have a lot of these vocational tech high schools, and they have gone by the wayside, or they've changed their names from vocational to college preparatory. So I know the government's insistence on getting more people into college kind of needlessly at times has really impacted manufacturing, because at the end of the day, even some of these folks going to a 2 or 4 year school are still out of work and still can't find a job, nor do they have a relevant skill set, which we supply here at Symbol Training Institute very readily and within a 4-month time frame. So it's a very fast track type of training program that we can get someone the skillful, employment skills that will help them get gainfully employed within 4 months. So that's a wonderful thing that we can offer to the general public and even those who want to advance in the field. So again, there's that skilled shortage, which is really hurting the manufacturers, mainly because of people's lack of awareness or the negative stigma that is associated with manufacturing. Because again, a lot of people think of it more like in the those 1940s or 1950s black and white videos of just an assembly line and someone doing the same thing over and over and over, a very mechanical process, whereas that's not the case today in a lot of these modern machine shops. You're working with a lot of technology, you're doing many processes in a given day, and it's a very fast-paced and challenging environment.
Can you talk about how you address this labor shortage a little bit more?
Yeah, so it's been a difficult, it certainly is a hard sell to try and get folks to get into this field. It obviously requires a lot of outreach to the high schools, to the community centers, to practically everywhere that anyone will, you get a gathering of folks who will listen, and just letting them know that the manufacturing jobs here in the States are alive and well. They're high demand, high paying jobs, and just trying to get across to it. Our youth, it's getting across to the parents, even though that's a very difficult proposition, just getting a bunch of parents in a room. Just trying to get that message out, because before we can even talk about what we do as a training provider and a job placement agency, in essence, we have to first talk about the merits of why an individual should enter this field and how it could be lucrative for them.
And thanks, Tom. And how can people learn more about your training?
Sure. You could visit our website at www.symboltraining.edu, and that's SYMBOL training.edu. Feel free to also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Our Twitter feed is @symboljob. And, if you just, for those who still like to use the phone and actually talk, our phone number is 847-673-6500. And those who live in the area, certainly you're more than welcome to stop by and go in there. And, we're more than happy to speak with anyone and everyone, I should say.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.